Do you know how to create a pop-out effect? Howdy everyone, welcome to another video, and in this one we're going to cover the so-called pop-out effect. But what exactly does that mean? So the pop-out effect is the type of photo montage where it looks like the subject is actually sticking out of the medium it's shown on, like coming out of a phone screen or a printed photo. I'm sure you've seen many of these examples on billboards or other commercials, etc. And in this video, we're going to be using the editor module to walk us through the particular montage that we're going to apply. What do we need to do for this effect? Basically, just two photos. One of the object that we want to pop out, and another of the background, or more precisely, the medium from which the object will be actually popping out of. Right now we're in the manager module, so let's start out by opening our background photo in the editor module. And in our case, we've got a monitor in this photo, and we want our subject to appear as if it's coming out of that monitor. Now, once the background photo is open, I'm going to insert the subject photo into the montage. First thing that we want to do is enlarge and position it so that it completely covers the monitor screen area. It shouldn't be smaller than the screen, otherwise we'd end up with an empty space, and that would be tricky to fix later. Now to help out with this, I'm going to lower the layer's opacity so I can see which parts are still within the screen and which parts stick out. Once that's set, I'll return the opacity to 100% and then move on to the next step. Now before making any more edits, let's duplicate the subject photo, actually make that twice. One duplicate is a backup of the original layer, and the second will be the one I edit for the final effect. With the duplicates now ready, let's start editing. Let's hide all the layers except for the top subject layer so that nothing else gets in our way. Now in this layer, I'm going to select the object. I could make a precise manual selection using the selection tools, but I'll save myself a lot of trouble and just use AI. So let's go to adjustments, click AI to remove background, and then let's make sure that the set background as layer mask option is selected, and let's let AI do all this work. Okay, once it's done, it's not 100% perfect, but that's fine because we have the background as a mask, and in the layers panel, I'm going to select the layer mask and use the brush to refine the edges, focusing only on the parts that will be sticking out of the monitor. The parts inside the monitor will still have the original background layer underneath. With that done, let's move on. Let's hide the top layer and show only the background layer, the monitor. Now using the selection tools, I'm going to select the monitor's display area, the part that's lit up. Let's use the polygonal lasso for this because it's a fairly simple shape, and for more complex shapes, a different tool would serve better. Now we already made a video about other selection tools and how to use them. You'll find the link here and also classically in the description. Once I've selected the monitor's display, I'll show the subject photo along with the background. I'll select the layer, right-click it, choose mask, and then reveal selection. And basically, that's it. I'll show all the layers except the backup, and the effect is already there. But I want to make it look just a little bit more realistic. Behind the monitor, there's clearly a wall. And in the photo of the object, there's also a wall. Because the photo was taken with a flash, there's a fairly sharp shadow behind the object, and I want to recreate that. Let's start by duplicating the layer with the object, the one without the background. Using the rectangular selection tool, I'm going to select the area from the top edge of the monitor down to just below where the object ends. Again, let's right-click the layer, choose mask, remove selection from mask, and this leaves me with only part of the object sticking out of the monitor. To this layer, let's add a shadow. Click the FX button, go to Edit Effects, and then check Shadow. I'll tweak the settings just to match the shadow in the original photo. And when that's done, notice that the shadow is still covering the lower layer of the object, which we don't want. And the fix for this is simple. Move the shadow layer below the non-shadow layer. Voila! The pop-out effect is now complete, and I'm quite happy with this result. Now let's just save the file as a .zps first, just in case we want to tweak this montage later. So let's keep all layers and edits. And if you want to share the photo elsewhere, we can export it. And in this case, as a JPEG. If the object were sticking out into transparency, I choose a PNG instead since it supports transparent backgrounds. So let's hit export, set JPEG quality, and voila, we're done. And here's the final result. And that, my friends, is how you create a pop-out effect. Let us know what you think below, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Till then, take care.